7 psychological laws of self-discipline you can actually keep. Carl Jung. If discipline keeps failing, it's because you're disciplining the wrong self. You've tried everything. Morning routines, habit trackers, willpower challenges, accountability partners. You start strong, full of motivation and determination. Then you break. Again. You tell yourself you're weak, that you lack self-control, that you're just not disciplined enough. But Carl Jung understood something about human nature that changes everything. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Here's the truth that no productivity guru will tell you. Your lack of discipline isn't a character flaw. It's a psychological conflict between different parts of yourself. You're trying to discipline your conscious mind while your unconscious mind is running the show. You're fighting a war on the wrong battlefield. Real discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about aligning all parts of yourself toward what you actually want. Let me describe what your relationship with discipline feels like right now. You wake up with the best intentions. Today will be different. Today, you'll stick to the plan. You'll eat healthy, exercise, work on your goals, avoid distractions. You've got it all mapped out. But by noon, you're already off track. You skipped the workout, you ate the donut, you scrolled social media instead of working on your project, and you feel like garbage about it? You beat yourself up. You promise to do better tomorrow. You create an even stricter plan, thinking more rules will solve the problem. But it doesn't. If anything, it gets worse. You start to believe there's something fundamentally wrong with you. That you're lazy, weak, undisciplined. That other people have some secret you don't have. You see people who seem effortlessly disciplined and you think they're just built different. They must have better genetics, better upbringing, better willpower, but you're missing the real story. You're trying to use discipline like a hammer, forcing yourself into behaviors that don't align with who you actually are. You're treating symptoms instead of causes. Every time you fail at discipline, you're not failing. You're getting information. Your unconscious mind is telling you something important, but you're not listening. You're trying to discipline yourself into being someone else instead of becoming more of who you already are. You think discipline means saying no to what you want, but real discipline means saying yes to what you want most. The problem isn't that you lack willpower. The problem is that you're using willpower to fight against yourself instead of working with yourself. You've been taught that discipline is about control, restriction, forcing yourself to do hard things. But that's not discipline. That's self-violence. And your psyche will always rebel against violence even when it's coming from you. Here's why traditional discipline fails, and it's not because you're weak. Your mind isn't a single entity. Jung discovered that we have multiple complexes, semi-autonomous parts of the psyche that have their own agendas, desires, and motivations. There's the part of you that wants to be healthy, successful, disciplined, but there's also the part that wants comfort, pleasure, immediate gratification. When you try to discipline yourself using willpower alone, you're essentially having one part of yourself try to dominate the other parts. And that creates internal conflict. The dominated parts don't disappear. They go underground. They become what Jung called shadow, the repressed aspects of personality that sabotage your conscious efforts. This is why you can be disciplined for a while, then suddenly break. It's not a failure of willpower, it's your shadow reasserting itself. Your unconscious mind has its own logic, its own needs, its own timeline, and if you don't honor those needs, they'll find a way to get met anyway. Think about it. When do you usually break your discipline? When you're stressed, tired, emotional, or overwhelmed. That's your unconscious mind saying, I need something, and I need it now. But instead of listening to what it needs, you try to force it back into submission, and the cycle continues. Jung understood that real transformation happens through integration, not domination. You don't become disciplined by crushing the undisciplined parts of yourself. You become disciplined by understanding them and working with them. This is why people who seem naturally disciplined aren't using more willpower. They've found ways to align their conscious goals with their unconscious needs. They're not fighting themselves, they're collaborating with themselves. And here's the part no self-help book will ever tell you. Here's what no productivity expert, no discipline coach, no habit guru will admit. Most discipline advice is designed to make you feel bad about yourself, so you'll keep buying more discipline advice. They tell you that if their system doesn't work, it's because you didn't follow it perfectly. You didn't want it badly enough, you didn't have enough willpower. But the truth is, their systems don't work because they ignore the most important part of you, your unconscious mind. Real discipline isn't about following someone else's system. It's about creating your own system based on how your unique psyche actually works. Jung said, "Your vision becomes clear when you look into your heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." Most people are trying to discipline themselves from the outside in. They're copying other people's routines, following other people's rules, trying to become other people. But lasting discipline comes from the inside out. It comes from understanding your own psychological patterns, your own motivations, your own resistance. Here's what really happens when you develop sustainable discipline. You stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself. You stop trying to be someone else and start becoming more of who you already are. You stop using discipline as punishment and start using it as self-care. This is the moment most people click away. But stay with me, because what comes next are the 7 psychological laws that will change everything. So how do you develop discipline that actually lasts? Here are the 7 psychological laws that work with your mind instead of against it. Law 1. Honor your resistance. When you feel resistance to doing something, don't force through it. Ask what it's trying to tell you. Maybe you're pushing too hard too fast. Maybe the goal isn't actually aligned with your values. Maybe you need rest, not more action. Resistance isn't the enemy of discipline, it's information. Law 2. Start ridiculously small. Your unconscious mind is suspicious of big changes. They feel threatening, dangerous. But it's okay with tiny changes. So start there. Want to exercise? Start with putting on your workout clothes. Want to write? Start with opening the document. Want to meditate? Start with 1 breath. Small actions build trust between your conscious and unconscious mind. Law 3. Connect to your why. Your conscious mind responds to logic. Your unconscious mind responds to emotion. If your discipline is purely logical, I should do this because it's good for me, your unconscious won't buy in. But if you connect to the emotional why, how this discipline will make you feel, who it will help you become, your whole psyche gets aligned. Law 4. Work with your natural rhythms. You have natural energy cycles, attention cycles, motivation cycles. Fighting them is exhausting. Instead, schedule your most important disciplines during your natural peak times. Use your low energy times for rest or easy tasks. This isn't being lazy, this is being strategic. Law 5. Make it identity-based. Don't focus on what you want to do, focus on who you want to become. Instead of, I want to exercise, think, I am someone who takes care of their body. Instead of, I want to write, think, I am a writer. Your unconscious mind will work to maintain consistency with your identity. Law 6. Build in flexibility. Rigid systems break. Flexible systems bend. Plan for imperfection. Build in recovery protocols. Expect setbacks and have strategies for getting back on track. This isn't planning to fail, this is planning to be human. Law 7. Celebrate small wins. Your unconscious mind learns through positive reinforcement, not punishment. Every time you follow through on a discipline, acknowledge it. Feel good about it. Let your brain know this behavior is rewarded. This creates a positive feedback loop that makes discipline easier over time. And when you apply these laws, here's what transforms Here's what happens when you start disciplining the right self using these psychological laws. First, discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like self-care. You're not forcing yourself to do things you hate. You're choosing to do things that serve your highest good. Second, you develop what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are instead of who you think you should be. Your discipline becomes an expression of your authentic self, not a betrayal of it. Third, you discover that willpower isn't a finite resource that gets depleted. It's a skill that gets stronger when you use it wisely. But here's the most profound transformation. You realize that discipline isn't about controlling yourself, it's about knowing yourself. When you understand your psychological patterns, your triggers, your motivations, your resistance, discipline becomes natural. You stop fighting against your nature and start working with it. You stop trying to be someone else and start becoming more of who you already are. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Real discipline is the path to that becoming. It's not about forcing yourself into a mold. It's about discovering the shape you were always meant to take and then consistently choosing actions that honor that shape. You'll find that the things you used to struggle with become easier, not because you have more willpower, but because you have more self-understanding. You'll stop breaking your commitments to yourself because those commitments will be aligned with who you actually are, not who you think you should be. People will start asking you how you became so disciplined, and you'll realize the answer isn't that you learned to control yourself better. It's that you learned to listen to yourself better. You learned to work with your psychology instead of against it. You learned to discipline the right self, the whole self, conscious and unconscious together. If this message resonated with you, if you're tired of discipline systems that don't work, if you're ready to stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself, then it's time to make a choice. You can keep trying to force yourself into other people's systems, keep beating yourself up when you fail, keep believing that discipline is about willpower and control. Or you can start honoring your own psychology. Start working with your unconscious mind instead of against it. Start building discipline that feels natural because it's aligned with who you actually are. The choice is yours. But remember, if discipline keeps failing, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're disciplining the wrong self. Subscribe if you're ready to self-decode, because real discipline isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you already are.